Hello, welcome back. Right, first video of 2021. How is everyone? I hope you're all still keeping safe and being incredibly patient. There will be an end in sight to this pandemic at some point in the future. I know we're all getting sick of it. But, you know, like I said, stay safe, and I'm sure we'll sort of get through it. Right, what do we have here today? As you can see, and because it's on the desk right in front of me, and also the title of the video is a bit of a giveaway. This is the Robik 48K ZX Spectrum clone, and it's come to me all the way from Ukraine, from a very, very good friend, Eugene, who owns the Sinclair YouTube channel, which a lot of you may well be familiar with. If you're not, then by all means go and check out his channel. His link is in the description box below. Massive Sinclair enthusiast, massive Spectrum enthusiast, etc. Now, clone ZX Spectrums, I know of them, but I don't know hardly anything about them, other than, you know, I've seen various pictures of them in various Facebook groups and stuff like that. But this is the first time I've ever actually seen one with my own eyes. I wouldn't see them with someone else's eyes, would I? Yeah, first one I've ever seen with my own eyes. First time I've ever owned one, and they go, or they appear to be available in a wide variety of various shapes and sizes. Now, like I said, I know hardly anything about these things, so I'm kind of going to be beholden to some of you in the comments section below, kind of like filling in some gaps and some blanks for me. Just wait 2 seconds. I'm just going over to the other side of the living room to turn the TV down, because I forgot to do that before I started the video. Get out of the way, dog. So yeah, like I said, they appear to have come in a variety of shapes and sizes. Some look quite like stylish, really, and others look quite sort of like strange in their composition and architecture. But, you know, if they worked, I have no idea how many separate type of clones, ZX Spectrums there were, whether they were mass produced or indeed just hobbyists creating their own Spectrums. I don't know how easy either it is to actually create a Spectrum, how easy it was to get the components, etc. Now, I don't believe the Spectrum itself, the official machine, was ever widely available, if at all, in any of the former Soviet areas and other parts of Eastern Europe, which I believe is why clone Spectrums sprang up. Again, if I'm way off the mark, please feel free to correct me. I don't, like I said, I don't know anything about these machines, and I don't mean to offend anyone with my ignorance. I could have done a little bit of research myself, of course, yes, you're right, but I do like to encourage discussions about videos, etc. So if you know anything about the clone machines, if you happened to own one back in the day, which one did you own? And what did you think of it? If you own them now, what do you think of it? So like I said, this is the first one. It was a gift, a lovely gift from Evgeny. I really do appreciate the gesture. I'm not going to be taking it apart or opening it up. Because once I'd done so, I wouldn't have a clue what I was talking about to be able to tell you what was inside. But I will provide a link to Evgeny's video where he featured the Robik recently, where he went to a fellow enthusiast's house somewhere else in Ukraine, and as a big part of the discussion is with this very knowledgeable chap about the Robik, and there is an example in that video of one being taken apart and an explanation about its innards and its workings and stuff. So here we are, I've got it on the desk in front of me, as we can see, and let's have a close-up look at it. So it is very light and very sturdy, and you can see it has that kind of look of one of the sort of aftermarket keyboards you used to be able to get for the Spectrum that used to get advertised in the magazines and stuff that you could fit yourself. I can't remember the names of any of them, but as you can see, it's a very, very nice look. A plastic case, which has yellowed a bit, but with, obviously, it's quite old. So there's 4 cursor keys. Now what's interesting is you can see there, those 2 keys there, included with the actual Spectrum ROM, fonts, etc. They've actually added the Cyrillic font and Latin fonts as well, which means that you can swap between each one of those. And it's a full QWERTY keyboard, as can be seen, with, obviously, I'm presuming that's Russian language symbols on it as well. And all the sort of various commands, etc. And interestingly, I don't know what these 2 buttons are actually. Don't know. You can see one thing that the original Spectrum lacked was a proper reset switch. I did mention in one of my videos ages back that our original rubber 48K eventually died because in order to reset it, we just used to keep pulling the power lead out of the back of the computer, and eventually that socket became sort of unusable and so sort of like fragile and twitchy. But here we've got 2 reset keys which have to be pressed together as a kind of protection against an accidental press of one of the keys. But this is a really nice feeling sort of keyboard. The only issue I've had with it is a couple of times a key has become stuck down, and I couldn't work out what was going on initially. I think it was the Y letter, the Y key was stuck down, and I just couldn't, but it was only stuck down a little bit, so you couldn't see at first glimpse what was going on because the word return just kept on getting printed across the screen. But as you can see, yeah, it's a very nice looking sort of keyboard, and it is nice to use. There's nothing on either side. As you can see, there's a sort of speaker grill on the top. It's not particularly loud. Then we have on the back, a sort of integral power lead, and I'll show you the brick in a minute. We have RGB lead, joystick port. I don't know what that one on the left there next to power lead is, and also already plugged in the phone, that's a phone tape connector, which I've got my phone plugged into, and then there's nothing on the other side as well. So let me just pop that back down to show you the brick. Excuse the sort of mess of wires over the side there. Now that's the sort of power brick that comes with it, with that kind of thin plug, 2-prong plug. And I had to buy this adapter to go with it. So from what I can tell, this was manufactured, might have to jump on Wikipedia somewhere if I can find my other phone, between 1989 and 1994 by the Celto Rotor company, which was by the Celto Rotor factory, which I believe was a former military factory in Ukraine. So let me just find that again. Bloody hell, Baz, you're bleeding plannings all over the place again as usual. And I've had a quick go at this, and it's very, very nice. There are, because the fonts, as I mentioned, the ROM contains 2 sort of font keys for Cyrillic and Latin. It does apparently cause some compatibility issues. I've not experienced any of those as yet, because I've only been sort of like playing very, very quickly with this. So there are 55 keys on the keyboard in total, and the joystick interface that I mentioned there is Kempston standard. Let's see if there's any other interesting. Oh yeah, this was interesting. A couple of people pointed this out to me. Apparently the hardware contains about 3 to 4 grams of gold and almost 18 grams of silver. Now I don't know why or what sort of improvements or anything using those metals would have in relation to the operation of the machine. If anyone knows, please let me know. And the buttons themselves, there's no keyboard membrane as such. It uses reed switches, which, well, whatever they are. But I don't, yeah, like I say, I don't know what reed switches are. But as I said, the keyboard has got a very nice feel to it. So, as it's a Spectrum, that's what everyone's going to be mostly interested in. Let's plug it in and have a look. So you might have seen, just as I plugged it in there, the power light has come on. It's got a LED switch on it. One thing I've forgotten to do is I've forgotten to plug the SCART lead in to the back of this TV, which I will just do. Goes just there. And this is a lead that Evgeny fashioned himself for me. Oh. And there we've got it. Hang on, I think my daughter's just arrived home from work. Let me just go and let her in quickly. Oh, sorry about that. I'm sure I heard a knock at the door. Must be going mad. So here we've got the front screen of the Robik. As you can see, it's that nice, sort of really nice, sort of blue with white lettering, as opposed to the Spectrum, which we all know was white with black. But so here we go. Now the thing we're all interested in is to try and see how it is as a specky. So I'll just open my Play ZX app, press J for load, symbol shift, and then enter. Oh, something went wrong there. No, it's not working yet. Hang on, I think I'm having a bit of a... Have I got that lead plugged in? Yeah, that's plugged in. Right. Let's see. There we go. We got it loading. So the lead's a little bit twitchy. Oh. I have to try that again. So let's reset. And here we go. So I'm just going to have to hold the thing. Hold it dead steady. The reason I've chosen Chucky Egg is it's... Ah! Bugger. That's because I moved the lead. So let's try that once more. It's all going Pete Tong. Oh. Now I did have this working the other day. Like I say, the lead is a bit fiddly, and I think it's to do with the design of the headphone jack on this particular phone I'm using. It's ever so slightly recessed into the top of the phone, which means sometimes getting the actual barrel or the pin of the jack of the headphone connector to fit properly can be a bit of a hit and miss affair, and sometimes you have to really sort of like push it down. So yeah, but here we go. Yeah, the reason I chose it is it's only a 2-minute file to load, just to sort of show you. Now, although there's, like I said, there's the beeper grill on the top, you'll notice that there's no sound, no loading sound coming through. Hang on a minute. Phone rang. Yeah, phone rang. There's no sound coming from it, which I don't know what the reason for that would be, but it doesn't seem to sort of affect the loading process anyway, hopefully, as can be seen. So yeah. Now, obviously, if you were an owner back in the day of one of these Spectrum clones, then by all means let me know what particular issues, if any, were faced compatibility wise, etc. Also, what was the most sort of popular series of games that you used to play? I really am interested to know. There we go, we've got Chucky Egg loaded. Yay! Everyone's favourite. I did try to get Frankenstein to load, but like I say, the jack port is a little bit suspect on this. It's only a cheap old sort of like emergency phone I bought a couple of years ago, just in case I ever needed a spare, in case I sort of like lost one or something like that. It's only a Motorola G7. Like I say, the thing's ever so slightly recessed. So here we are, we've got Chucky Egg loaded. So let's redefine our keys. Oh, just moved the camera somewhat. Sorry if that made you seasick. So we're going to select Q, A, O, P and space. Press S to start. I'll move up so you can see the game. Now everyone knows Chucky Egg. This is just to demonstrate the Robik. We want one player. I'm absolutely dreadful at this game, but I do enjoy it. Oh, hang on. And I said before that the keyboard is really nice, and it does feel really responsive. Now, I've only tried a couple of games with this, but it really is nice. It doesn't feel cheap and nasty or anything. And like I said, I believe this was actually sort of like commercially manufactured. In Eugene's video, you'll see there's an example of the sort of packaging that the Robik came with back in the day. And it really is an interesting sort of like little machine. It's... Oh, shite. Hello. Oh dear, what have I done? I appear to have pressed a button that I shouldn't have. Whoops. Ooh. Hello. Oh dear. I think we've spotted an issue. So let's try and load something else. What should we try? Might as well try Manic Miner. See if we can get that to load. Turning into a bit of a car crash, this this video. Right, so we'll just pop the loading command in. Nope, don't seem to be happening there, does it? Ooh, don't know what happened. Now, I was playing Manic Miner on it, sorry, Manic Miner, Chucky Egg on it for quite a while the other day. And, you know, I had no sort of issues with it that we experienced there. Let's try this again. So I think this is more a problem with the phone than the computer. Talk amongst yourselves while we wait for this. But anyway, I do find, like I said, the sort of whole concept of the Spectrum clones to be fascinating and admirable, really. You know, the fact that some of them, like, people seem to have known their way around the innards of the ZX Spectrum, you know, intimately, and able to just cobble these things together at will almost. So it seems like we've got an issue with Manic Miner. So let's try a different version of that off ZX Play, or Play ZX, sorry. Or let's try a different game. So in his, oh, that's Q, don't want Q. R. Let's try Robocop, because in his video that's what Eugene managed to get going. Now, I always particularly like the loading screech of Specky games. I know some people might think it's a godsend that you can't hear them now, but I used to enjoy it. It's iconic, that noise Specky games made when they loaded. And even now, even though sort of like I use 128s, sorry, +2s to be more specific, I don't turn the volume down when games are loading, because I really enjoy the sort of the loading screech that you get from it. But I don't know why, going back to clones again, I chop and change direction all the time in these videos. I really should try and keep myself on track. I don't know why the Spectrum seems to have had more clones than or variants than other machines. Like, I'm not aware of any clones of anything else that was popular at the time, like the Commodore 64, the Amstrad, BBC Micro. I'm not saying there aren't any out there, but it would seem that, you know, the Spectrum sort of like seems to have had a monopoly on that, if you want. I know you could say, well, there were lots and lots of different MSX machines and stuff, but they were officially licensed machines, weren't they? So that basically is the Robik. It's a lovely gift. It's a really decent looking little computer, as I'm sure you'll agree. Seems to work okay. I was warned there are compatibility issues. It seems that there's an issue again with the lead on this one. Well, let's try one more game. What should we try? What should we try? I'll just pick that one because it was on there. Oh, well, never mind. Yeah, lovely sort of gift there. I'm going to play with it a little bit more and try and order a different different lead, if I can, because as you can see, it's a little bit sort of like chunky on the edge of my phone. Now, Yeah, it's been a bit all over the place, this video, but I hope you found it interesting anyway. Just to see a sort of Soviet era clone, ZX Spectrum 48K clone in action. I certainly very, very appreciative of the gesture. He's a wonderful guy. I'll pop links to his channel below. Go and check out the video he did far more successfully on the Robik than I did. Okay, thank you ever so much for watching for 25 minutes. If you like the video, please let me know. If you wish to subscribe, please do so. But if you do subscribe, please, please, please take the time to join in with the conversation, because that's what it's all about. Thank you ever so much for watching. Take care and goodbye.